So in terms of SimulEYE versus animal eyes, specifically pig eyes, back in the early days of wet lab training, it was primarily all done with pig eyes, and that was really the only option that was available. There have been some other models that came along, but what I saw is that companies would try those models and they would go back to pig eyes basically for various reasons. Pig eyes had some value. There's some anatomical representation there and some realism, but there's a lot of problems as well. The view is very difficult through the cornea, and many of these pig eyes that have been sitting around, or even when they're fresh, they have to be harvested and procured at the right time. They can't sit around forever. There's a setup. They're really not that pleasant to work with. The anatomy is different. It's too big. You can't put a Malugin ring in those irises and work with them. And you've really got to have the setup and the appropriate covers and everything like that. It's not like you're going to take a pig eye into your operating room and work under your microscope at your chair with your instruments in these settings. And so a synthetic model like SimulEYE really comes along and changes that whole paradigm and eliminates so many of those problems, because it's, these models can be taken anywhere. There's no mess. There's no problem with setting them up. They're reusable oftentimes for different techniques. And they're actually, quite frankly, a much better, more realistic training device, because we've designed them for specific procedures or devices. And so more and more I just see pig eyes going away, and I think most people are fine with that. I don't think there's really much of a pushback. And as we continue to develop the SimulEYE model line, I really feel like we're going to eliminate pig eyes entirely from training. So there's this terminology of wet lab versus dry lab. So I guess we're really going over to dry lab, meaning synthetic models, not human or animal tissue. But they're still very realistic in terms of what we're able to provide in the training setting.